Hey, Treasure fans, your old pal Big D back here again with another weekly news announcement. This is going to be for the 26th of October and the 2nd of November. Those of you new to my channel, I try to do this every week where I talk about what's coming out new on Blu-ray, DVD, 4K for the current week and the following week, and anything I heard announced, any other movie information I think that's out that you might enjoy, and then I kind of go into discussion. I will say I am sorry to not put one of these last week. I actually filmed one for last week and went back to start editing it. And to be honest with you, it was probably some of the worst filming I've ever done. It was bad. I had a lot of I was trying to edit it. I spent about an hour editing the thing. I go, nope, I'm done. It was just I had a lot of flubs. A couple times the issues happened. A cat knocked over something that stopped. It was just a whole big. So I didn't do it last week. I do apologize for that, but I'm back. So let's go ahead and discuss what's coming out. So the 26th, which is coming up this Tuesday, there's a fair amount of releases. Nothing major. Really? Well, I take that back. There is one big title, and then the rest are all kind of minor stuff. Well, maybe two titles. And then, yeah. So what we got coming out is Blood for Dracula is coming out in 4K. I believe it's a Hammer film. That's coming out in 4K this week. We do have the Underworld 5 movie collection coming out in 4K this week. Although, however, I want to put a caveat on that. I did hear rumors that it's probably been delayed due to replication issues and I mean, you've all heard about all over the news, the distribution issue the world's having right now. So my understanding is this is going to be delayed. There might be a few that trickle out, but I think it's going to be a few more weeks before we actually see them in stores. Superman, the animated series, complete series, coming out on Blu-ray for the first time. Nothing But Trouble's coming out on Blu-ray from, I believe it's Warner Archives this week, and that's the first time on Blu-ray. Love that movie. Dan Aykroyd. Oh, yeah. The Nose. Vestron video, which have become really gotten back into lately. Watching some of the Vestron re-releases. Vestron does it's a company that comes out and puts out a lot of classic stuff from the 80s. They did the Wishmaster series. They did, I'm trying to think with Maximum Overdrive. I'm looking at my movies over here. Maximum Overdrive, the Warlock series, Class 1999. Return Limited 3. So they've got like 22 of these things out now. And I believe number 22, actually 22, is going to be Steel Dawn, which comes out this week. I have pre-ordered that. I think Best Buy has said it's on its way. Great movie with Patrick Swayze, like post-apocalyptic, really cool. I really dig it. But I gotta admit, it's been years since I've seen it, but I'm looking forward to getting that. So they put out a really cool stuff. So I'm really looking forward to that because they actually do a really good job, and it's not that expensive. I think the Steel Dawn was like $12 for a really good remaster to Blu-ray, nice packaging, slipcover, the whole 9 yards. It's a really good deal. Now, so if you ever get a chance to check out one of the Vestron video ones, check it out. Trust me, they do a really good job for a low price. I mean, some of the earlier ones that originally come out were a little expensive initially. I think they're like $20. I think when I picked up the Wishmaster series when it came out, I think I paid $24 or $25 for it. That was 4 movies though. Same thing with the Warlock series, I paid a little bit more, and Return of the Living Dead 3 was the hard one. I actually paid like $22 for that, but otherwise, the new ones that are coming out are really cheap, and they do a really good job, so I really recommend, if you're kind of interested in one, check it out. Also, this week we have Deep Red coming out in 4K for the first time. Let's see here, Kino Lorber, why am I trying to say that? It's coming out for Love of Money this week. It's a, oh yeah, Michael J. Fox movie. I love Michael J. Fox movies, especially from the 80s and early 90s. You know, I just love those movies. Secret My Success, Doc Hollywood. Those are just great movies, fun to watch. Summer of '84 is coming out in 4K for the first time next week. And then the last three, we do have the big title coming out, Suicide Squad, Blu-ray 4K. There's a Steelbook coming out for it. I don't know if there's a Digibook. However, I want to say this. I pre-ordered that a long time ago. As soon as it had come out on HBO Max, I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered the Steelbook from Best Buy, so I've had it pre-ordered for a while. However, I do have to say that it hasn't shipped yet. Now, why I say that is also the other movie I pre-ordered as soon as they had announced it was Don't Breathe Part 2. I love the first one, so I really wanted to see the second one, so I pre-ordered that one as well. That one is shipped. They both come out this Tuesday. But that one is shipped, but the Suicide Squad one hasn't yet. So I'm wondering if there's a delay on that one as well. My understanding was some of the older titles that have been available that were supposed to come out last year to theaters were coming out a bit quicker because they'd replicated those probably last year when the movies were just sitting there doing nothing. However, I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to be one of those movies where I'm going to have to wait. We're going to have to wait a little while longer. It may come out on Blu-ray, may see it on Blu-ray, but maybe the Steelbook stuff like that may take a little bit longer because they're more of a niche specialty portion of it. So we'll see. Again, so then, like I said, not only the Suicide Squad, which again, I do believe I had a review for it a while back. I'll link to that because I really loved it. It was amazing. I loved it. And then again, don't forget, Don't Breathe 2 is coming out. Is also coming out that day as well. I haven't seen that yet. Hope it's good. And then the last one that's coming out, and it's just really a re-release, but it's really cool. So Star Trek: The Original Series, I mentioned this before, is coming out with a Steelbook box set with all 3 seasons in a Steelbook. I've seen it. I've seen a couple people that already got it. They got advanced copies of it. Looks really cool. I do want it, even though I do have like 6 other versions of the original series. We'll see what happens. That's going to be kind of a hard sell to my wife. She's going to be like, excuse me, how many versions do you have of that? I know. Christmas is coming up, though. So anyways, that is what's coming out this week. Kind of a hodgepodge of stuff, you know, a couple bigger releases, a lot of smaller stuff, some more 4K coming out. So here's that. Now we have next week, the 2nd of November. God, can you believe that? In a week, we're in November. It just seems really weird to me that we're at this year just flew by. So next week, we don't have a whole lot. I think you're going to see us start a kind of a trimming down for a couple weeks of stuff I was noticing on the release calendars. We do have Guns of Navarone coming out on 4K next week. MacGyver, the complete series, is coming out in a Blu-ray box set, which I believe that's a reissue. There's a lot of reissue stuff coming out next week. There's an El Mariachi, and the other 2 movies are in that series. I forget the names at the moment. Desperado was one. In a box set, there was like In the Line of Fire, I've paired up with Air Force One in a box. They're not boxes though. They're just a Blu-ray with 2 discs in them. It's nothing special. It's just a repackaging of them. It's a lot of repackaging next week. I'm not going to go through all of them because it was like some of this stuff has been out for years. So, but there is a lot of repackaging coming out next week. But we also do have Kung Fu Season 1, so it's the newer version of Kung Fu, not the original with David Carradine. This is a newer version. Season 1 comes out next week. We also have a movie with Guy Pearce called Zone 414. I have no idea about it. It looked interesting, though. That'll be out next week. And then let's see here. There is a reissue coming out next week that I do want to report to. That's Indiana Jones, the 4K box set. Apparently, I did not know this either, and I'll be doing a video. Please look out for this. There'll be a video posted later this week on product issues because there are some delays in movies, which I hope to go through. I've done a little bit of research and looking at some of the possible reasons why. So be on the lookout for that. But that is being a re-release. It's not really a re-release, and it's like we had it gone for a while. It's just because of I believe it's production issues. It kind of fell off the shelves for a while because it got sold out, and it's kind of coming back. And the last movie coming out next week is Pig with Nicolas Cage. That was in theaters not too long ago. I actually heard some really good things about it. I didn't get a chance to see it, but I'm curious to see. I love Nicolas Cage. I'm all about him. I've watched Willy's Wonderland umpteen times. Color of Space, I really enjoyed that one. So I've kind of been on a Nicolas Cage roll lately, so we'll see what happens with that. But I do plan on at least seeing it. I probably will pick it up eventually. It'll probably end up at some place for $10 eventually. I don't know, but I do plan on picking that up. Now that's it for this week and next week. Again, I've noticed that the next couple weeks after the 2nd too, it's going to drop off a little bit. I think before Thanksgiving rolls around for us in the United States. So it looks like it's dropping a little bit. There are a couple of titles coming out, but nothing really major. Also with product delays, which again I'll discuss in another video, the product delays, there's been some issues not getting things. You're probably all out there looking for Scream right now in 4K. I'm like, hey, well, it's been delayed. Not by the studio, but because of other reasons. So it just give it a little bit of time for things to catch up, stuff like that. So it's going to be a little bit, which is good. I'm glad it's going to slow down a little bit so we can get caught up on some of the older stuff that come out. Also, Black Friday's getting ready to roll around in less than a month. So hopefully we'll see some good movie deals on that. And I'll actually do a Black Friday video closer to that day, discuss what I found is going to be on sale, what I think are good deals. So let's go ahead and talk about announcements. I got 2 portions of announcement here. I have Ironclad, yes, it's coming out on this date, barring any, production issues. And then I have rumors that are floating around out there. So I'm going to go with the Ironclad ones first, and then we'll go with the rumors. So Ironclad, we do have Creepshow Season 2 coming out on the 7th of December. Season 1 was amazing. I loved it. Can't wait to see Season 2. We do have a Candyman, the newest Candyman. That is coming out on the 16th of next month, November. There's a 4K and a Blu-ray. I don't know anything about a Steelbook. We'll see. Also, a new DC anime movie coming out called Catwoman the Hunted. Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K on that one. That'll be out the 8th of February. Interesting to see. They're starting with the DC movies. They're starting to spread out a little bit. It's not just all Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman anymore. They're starting to go with some other characters, so I'm glad to see that. Catwoman, a character that's often used in a lot of these animated movies, but never really specifically. Like, I just got watching. If you haven't seen it, the Long Halloween Part 1 and 2, those were really good. I really liked both those movies. I mean, really liked them a lot. So, and she was featured throughout that too, but she's always kind of a secondary character in the anime movies. This is gonna be the first one, at least that I know of, that's gonna focus specifically on her. There's gonna be obviously characters, I believe, on the screenshot for the cover. Batwoman's on there too, but again, it's Catwoman, so that's interesting. I'm glad to see that. Kino Lorber is releasing in January The Great Escape in 4K, which should be really cool for those people that enjoy that movie. It's a great movie. So 4K on that. And then they just announced Cry Macho. That's Clint Eastwood. My understanding is his last movie. We'll see. But that is coming out the 7th of December. So be on the lookout for that. I haven't seen that yet. I know it's up on streaming. I want to say it's on HBO Max, but I haven't seen it yet. Clint Eastwood, I'm really hit or miss with. I've enjoyed the majority of his movies. I've really liked all of them, but every once in a while one sneaks in, you're kind of like, eh. Although this is kind of a throwback to the Westerns, which growing up, my dad was a massive fan of, and I was too, but not nearly as big as my dad was, on Clint Eastwood. I mean, you watch the spaghetti westerns all the time. He loved those movies, and I really enjoyed them and liked them too. It's been a while since he's actually done a western. You know, Unforgiven, I think, was the last one, which again won Academy Awards. I love that movie. But it'll be interesting to see how that goes out, how that plays out, stuff like that. Yeah, we'll find out. All right, so that is it for Ironclad announcements. Let's talk about some rumors. So rumors for Ironclad. Let's start off with Christmas because so far it's pretty close to us at this point. So there is rumors for next year that Elf, The Polar Express, Christmas Vacation, and A Christmas Story will be all coming out in 4K at some point next year. Now I'm going to assume they're probably bringing up maybe a September release of next year. They want to get a little closer to Christmas. A lot of people won't buy it if it comes out in March. So be on the lookout for that. I'm really excited about that. Polar Express, you know, I really wanted to like that movie, but it's like a nightmare on TV. The animation is so weird to me. I've tried to watch it 3 times. I got through it once, but it's just too hard for me. I love Robert Zemeckis. I love Tom Hanks. The story itself, I've read the book numerous times when I was a kid. I love it, but the movie was just, I can't sit through it anymore. It's like, I made it that one time, I'm like, I'm never going to happen again. It's a bummer part, but honestly, my 2 favorite Christmas movies of all time, and I don't think I've ever discussed this before, are A Christmas Story and Christmas Vacation. I literally watch those 2 probably 4 or 5 times every holiday season. I love those 2 movies. Those 2 movies encapsulate my childhood, really, and what I really enjoyed to watch back then. Elf, yes, I really enjoyed that movie too. But Elf came out much later on. You know, I remember seeing Christmas Story in theaters. I really remember seeing Christmas Story in theaters. I remember my mom, when I was a kid, my mom took a buddy of mine down to the theater to go see a certain movie. I can't remember what the movie was anymore. When we got there, the movie already started and sold out. No, it wasn't sold out. No, that's right. The power went out. That's what it was. The power went out partway through the movie we were watching. And so they gave us readmit tickets, and just down the block there was another theater showing Christmas Story. So my buddy of mine, I can't remember how old we were. It was probably 12, maybe 11. And so we jetted over to this other theater to go see this, but we never told my mom we were going to do that. So of course my mom showed up at the theater we were supposed to be at. We weren't there. We were at this other theater watching Christmas Story. But I remember loving it, and I got in a bunch of trouble when the movie was over with, when we finally got back to the theater. You know, my mom, obviously I got in a lot of trouble, but even to this day, it still was worth it. I really liked that movie. Little side story, sorry about that. So those are tentative, it looks like, for next year. Also, it looks like we're going to get, so apparently I did not know this, but Ghostbusters 4K is really hard to find. Apparently Warner Brothers is not producing it right now. They're going to be re-releasing both Ghostbusters movies in 4K next year. I'm assuming to coincide with the release of Ghostbusters 3 on Blu-ray and DVD, because That movie comes out to theaters next month in November, and I'm assuming probably around February, March, we'll see that movie come out to Blu-ray, plus these other two. So they are re-releasing those. So if you don't have those and we're like, oh, I want to get those in 4K, don't worry, they are coming back out. They just went out of print for a while, whatever Columbia TriStar is doing with those, I don't know. But we'll find out really soon. But I do. If you got that Steelbook though, the Steelbook that originally came out that had like just a black with a red border that had like the ghost on it going like this, and it was both movies in a really nice box set, Steelbook box set. That's worth some money now. Apparently, it's out of print. It's really hard to find, and it's worth some money. So if you've got that, I would definitely hold on to that. All right. Looks like we got Venom, Let There Be Carnage, supposedly coming out on the 14th of December, so right before Christmas, which makes sense. There's always one or two big titles will come out a week or two before Christmas. They're great stocking stuffers, last minute gifts, whatever. That's great. I know Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K. I don't know about a Steelbook, but I'm assuming since the last Venom came out in Steelbook, this one will too. Although the Steelbook may be delayed a little bit while because this wasn't a movie that was done and was supposed to be out last year, sitting on the shelf for a while. This one was done earlier, finished up earlier this year, and was released. So we'll see on that one. Last Night in Soho apparently looks like a late January release on that one. And then the two really big ones that I thought were really, because they're just current. One was just released this week, and the other one was just released last week. So we have Dune, looks like coming out on January 11th, and on that same day, Halloween Kills coming out in that same thing. Now with Halloween Kills, there is a Steelbook version available, 4K Steelbook version. There's already a picture of it. Matter of fact, I'll link it. I'll have a picture at the end of if at the very end of the video, you can kind of see what it might be looking like, the 4K box set of that for that movie. Dune, no word on 4K, a box set yet, but a Blu-ray, DVD, and 4K, but no on a Steelbook yet on that one or any other special editions. I'm assuming so. I did manage to get the David Lynch Dune 4K Steelbook from Arrow. So I'm assuming, I would think they would do another one. We'll see. I don't know. But those are supposedly going to be on January 11th, which again, that doesn't surprise me because both Dune and Halloween have been done for a really, really long time. They were supposed to be out this time last year. I think Dune was supposed to come out Christmas of last year. I know that Halloween Kills was supposed to come out October of last year because Halloween Ends, which is the third movie in that series, was supposed to come out this year. So those movies have been done for a while. They've been set on the shelf, so I think that's why they're able to get them out so quickly, because they were replicated a long time ago for master for DVD and Blu-ray. We'll see what all transpires with that, but I'm really looking forward to that, both 4K. Be on the lookout this week. I did do a quick review. I'm trying to do these quick reviews now, some certain movies, except for Deadheading. By the way, thank you for all the comments on Deadheading. It makes me feel good to know that other people thought it was pure crap too. I still, every time because I still have the movie here, I don't know what to do with it at this point. So every time I look at it, I'm like, I just shake my head and go, why? It's such a bad movie. But I did get a lot of good response out of it, so I may do that because there's a couple other Dollar Tree ones I saw recently that were they weren't as bad, but they were pretty bad. So I may start doing my bad movie. It's a good idea. Maybe a bad movie of the week review. I'll have to look into that. But thank you guys so much for the comments on that one. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you guys on the comments. I will this week, but all the comments that I read that people made them, I think I agree with you 100%. I do. I think it's a pure trash movie that like, I'd be embarrassed to like put that on my resume like, I was Deadheading. So anyway, be on the lookout this week. There's going to be a quick review of Halloween Kills, which I did see. Also a quick review of Dune, which I did see too. Went to theater to see both those movies. Which, by the way, Dune, I think you do need to see that on a big screen. It's very epic. So there's that. I also have a video coming out this week, a short video on movie delays, some things I found out that have been delayed. And then I'm finally going to review this. I've gotten through it all, watched the whole thing, so I'm going to review this week as well. That is it. I don't have anything else other than I can tell you that right now there's a couple sales going on. Kino Lorber is having a sale. There's a Arrow Shocktober sale going on right now. I don't think there was anything on Shout Factory, Scream Factory, which I find kind of weird. But there is a couple sales going on right there, right now. Amazon's got some pretty good deals, especially on horror movies that I've seen lately. So constantly check up on those. Go on Blu-ray.com. Blu-ray.com's got this really good thing you can go to. You can actually source and go in there and click on like what's on sale, and you can click on whether it's Best Buy, Amazon, and they'll give you all the sales of the current titles they got that are good deals. So yeah, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. Like, subscribe, the bell, those whole things. Leave me some comments. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please take care. Be safe. This is the first time in a couple days it hasn't rained where I live, so this is interesting. But the air smells clean, which is really nice. I love it after it rains because it just feels fresh, so I'm in. Anyways, please take care. Always keep hunting. You never know what you're going to find, and as always, live long and prosper. Bye.